Ramblin man here. At what point do we say enough is enough? I'm about to be to that point. I wanted to talk to y'all this morning just because last night I couldn't sleep, and I'll tell you, part of that reason is because if you look at our world today, I remember being a kid growing up, and I know there were issues in the world, but my parents never even let me know that was an issue, that there was anything going on. They're just like, hey, go play. That's all we did. Nowadays, kids know everything. They see everything. It's all over media. It's everywhere. Social media has turned our kids into zombies, I think. I mean, that's just my opinion. I think what it's done is, some people say, well, now they know everything. That kids should not know everything. Because, see, kids are born with an innocence that stays that way until it is, I call it, torn from them. Because here, I'll give you an example. When I was a kid, I remember being I was like 4th grade, and we were outside playing on the playground, and some little girls called me a virgin, and I was like, I'm no virgin, because I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. This is 4th grade, okay? 4th grade, I had no idea, and most kids didn't know. They had no idea what things like virgin were, anything like that, right? Nowadays, that's just put in perspective, let me tell you. So nowadays, you have people 2nd grade, I want to be a man. I want to be a woman. I was born a man, but I want to be a woman. These kids are watching things on TV, and how would they know to say that they want to be that person unless it's talked about? Okay? You may have feelings, because there's kids that have feelings, because you're learning about yourself. You have hormones and all kinds of different things raging through your bodies at different ages. But for someone to say, you know what, I identify as a man, and you might be 4th grade and they're already talking about this stuff. They know what a trans is. I remember the youngest in our household coming home saying, oh yeah, there's this girl and she's trans. I'm like, you are 5th grade. How do you know all these different terms? We didn't have terms like this. That's what I'm saying. Like, social media has turned our children into adults way too early, and that's the problem. We, as parents, have to watch what they're doing, and they may look at you like you're an idiot. But I'm not trying to be their friend. I'm their parent. I just know when it comes to like this world, it has gone to hell. It's terrible. It is terrible. The things that we allow our kids to see without even knowing we're allowing them to see. They're learning things way too early. It's one of those things that, you're talking about. We have all these different things we celebrate. We celebrate people that want to be trans as heroes. Like, oh, good job. Way to go, buddy. Way to be brave. But we take less time to thank those people that allowed us to be free. And I want you to think about that, okay? Now, this is just one thing I'm going on. This is going to be a long video. I'm telling you, you need to stick around because it gets better. All right, so I was thinking, like I said, last night I couldn't sleep. So I was thinking about our kids being changed. And then you have, my wife and I are watching, and she goes, why can't men be men again? And you don't have to be, to coin the word, to do the word, use the words that everybody uses, toxic masculinity, okay? Hey, mano, none of that machismo stuff, right? But you still want your man, and you, like, listen to me. I don't have a, hey, my name is Buck. That's not my voice. I have a voice that sometimes I go through somewhere and someone's like, oh, yes, ma'am, in a drive-thru, because it has a higher tone to it. But it doesn't mean I have to be like, girl, you know what I mean? There's no reason for me to start talking like that. There's no reason to be soft. Like, I work on the car. I do things that men are supposed to do so the women don't have to. Not that women can't. I know some women that are just gearheads. They can do whatever. They can tear stuff up. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But what I'm saying is, God intended for a man to take care of his wife. And if a wife makes more than a man, so what? My wife makes more than me, and I love it. But here's what I'm telling you. A man should still be a man. A man should go through, and as your kids should have a father and a mother, And I know there's situations where you just can't have that happen, okay? I've been through divorce. I understand that. What I'm saying is you still should have that influence, that person that says, hey, come here, let me show you how to change a tire. Let me show you how to change the oil in the car. All those things, right? Now, we were watching the show last night, and she just said, why can't men be more manly? Because everybody that we watched was like, yeah, and then sometimes I like that. At what point, and here's my problem. Just because you are a gay man or a gay woman, okay, why does your voice have to change? Why does the way you speak have to change? And I'll give you an example. I know this one young man that from 1 year went from like, hey, how's it going, to the next year is like, oh, hi, and then it's like this. Why do you have to have that list? What does that do for you? Does it help you so you don't have to tell people that you're gay? I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it's okay if you like men, but at least still be a man. I don't understand that, you know? If you're going to choose to be a man. Nowadays, everybody's choosing to be something else. Now, I will tell you, like, as far as all this stuff with the summits and going to the G7 summit and everything, we, as a nation, are the laughing stock right now. And this is just stuff that's hot on my plate right now. I'm telling you right now, I am just beside myself. I hope you stayed around to listen to this whole thing, because what's happening, people are probably going to watch that first part and like, oh, he's just talking about being gay. Nope, not at all. I'm just talking about our world, our youth, and what they see, and what they're going to assimilate. They're going to copy everything that they see their parents do or the world do. We have states, Texas and Arizona are already on board to go finish the wall by themselves. Because why? Because the federal government will not do their job to keep illegals out. And so you have all this influx of people coming in, whether it's the Democrats trying to get votes or whatever it may be. They need to stop that crap. Going down to Guatemala and meeting with them and saying, don't come. Come on, that's ridiculous. It's not getting us anywhere. Build the dang wall, put a stop to it. It's like, if you know what? It's like this. If you have a 55-gallon barrel, and at the bottom of it, there's a hole, and it's all pouring out, right? But you decide to go to the top of the barrel and try to keep putting water in so that, try to fix it so it won't run out of water, but it's still shooting at the bottom. The key would be to first figure out some way to plug that hole, then fill it back up. That's what build the wall, keep people out, then work on your root causes. Slow that flow. Because right now what's happening is they're trying to do root cause, or that's what they say anyway. And then you got stuff just still flowing in. It's not going to stop anything. And the reason that Kamala Harris hadn't gone down to the border is because she does not want to have to answer questions that she can't answer, which means anything, because that woman just, that's all she does. She laughs, and her same deal is like, we built the border. You haven't done crap. You're the worst vice president that in my lifetime that I know of. The worst. And we had Joe Biden as a vice president when Obama was in there. So that tells you a lot. Because I think Joe Biden's a joke. I think he's racist. I think he has so many different ties that people are blindly following him. He says stupid things all the time that if Trump had said, they would have crucified him for. Yet he says it and they're like, oh, it's just Joe. Yeah, he's our buddy. If you don't vote for me, you're not black. Are you freaking kidding me? That would have killed Trump. Nope. This guy, they're like, oh yeah, he's my buddy. I've seen more and more people though coming around, and so people will say all the time, here's the thing, they'll say, yeah, well, there's no one regretting their votes. Well, yeah, there are, but people don't want to admit it, because admitting you regret your vote means you voted for Biden, and that's you saying, I voted for Biden. That's embarrassing in itself, because as well as I do, and you have these morons that are talking about, oh yeah, he's doing a great job, he's the best president. Compared to who? If it's just Joe Biden and himself compared, I don't even know if he's the best president out of those two. It's that bad. He is a terrible president. I mean, read everything. He has to take naps during the day. He has to go to bed at a certain time. They're like, okay, he's off limits. He's not like a regular president where you can go in there and the press ask him questions. The reason he won't go and ask is because, see, everybody dogged Trump, but he used to get dogged by just the press would just, oh yeah, throw crap at him, be sarcastic, yet he would fire back. Joe can't do that because he can't remember his name or where he's at, much less any kind of retort. He's screwed. So I'm just telling you, our world is in a bad, bad place. Australia knows it. If you watch any of the videos from the summit, he's talking about crazy stuff, and Boris, which sucks too, has to tell him like, no, I already did that. No, I already had to correct him. He's like, man, these people, guys, I'm telling y'all, it's all a charade anyway. Like over there, they had them all sitting there in the G7 summit. They're all standing side by, with 6 feet between them to take pictures. But you see them all walking together, talking face to face. Guys, there's no 6 foot being established. It's all a charade. I'm telling you right now. If you think all of this stuff is not just out there, oh God, I'm telling you, I could not sleep last night because I was thinking about how much crap our world is going through right now, especially our country. Our country is not building its military up while China does. Everybody says, oh yeah, well, he's working with all these guys' allies. It don't matter. I'm telling you right now, the reason that people left us alone because we were a superpower. You have the Russians and Chinese making these great, come out here, be a soldier, and then we get like, oh, my 2 moms, I walked with them, and then, oh, I just love all walks of life is the way we can get from our military. We already had all walks of life come into our military. That was not the point. But they made this cartoon-looking ad for get people in the military, and our military looks like the joke of the freaking world. Let me tell you one thing right now. I watched this lady. I read this article on this lady, and she's from North Korea, and she said she came over to Columbia University in 2016. She defected. She came over, and she was appalled that people in her classes, they were like, okay, how do you want to be called? He, she, they, and this is her 3rd language. So she said she's already confused. They, why would it be called they? Because you're trying to teach proper English, but now they refer to themselves as they because they're non-binary or I don't know. I don't understand all those terms because why don't you just say confused? Because you're confused. So she said people that live right now in the United States, she goes, I came here because I wanted to be free and to have choices and do what I want to, and people are ruining it here because it's embarrassing. She goes, and it's scary because all the stuff that's going through your minds and stuff that they're putting out, that false propaganda and stuff, is just like North Korea used to do before it went down the hill. She said she goes, you're on the cusp. U.S. is on the cusp of being like North Korea. Like she said we were brainwashed to think that we're all starving and so is our leader. And then someone had to show me a picture of their leader and say, look how fat he is. He's not starving, for her to be like, oh my gosh, he's not starving. But in her mind, she'd been brainwashed. She goes, and that's what's happening in the U.S. A lot of people are being brainwashed. People don't understand what it means to be free, and they take it for granted. They take it for granted. So mind you, I'm telling you right now, quit taking stuff for granted. It's time to take a stand as the United States of America. We are the greatest country, but we are falling fast. Right now, you can't even call us the greatest country because of who we have leading it and the followers that are in place. People are pushing their agendas more than they are, hey, let's be American, let's be united. We're so divided right now, and then Obama comes in and he's doing, he comes in there and does this little, hey, every once in a while, he and his wife, husband, whatever you want to call her. I'm just telling you right now, if we don't do something soon, the world as we know it, the United States as we know it, will not last. I'd say 10 years from now, we'll be either in civil war or we'll be divided completely. When the federal government won't step up, and states like Texas and Arizona have to build their own walls because the federal government refuses to stop the problem or even do it, that's just a small piece of what's going on. So correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not. I'm just letting you know, this is my channel. I'll fight you till I'm blue in the face. And I know if you're a liberal and you jump on here, I won't really debate you, because it's like talking to a wall. You won't change your mind until you're proven wrong, and even when you're proven wrong, you'll still stand by it to the death. So believe what you want to. Love to hear some of your comments. Please make sure you subscribe, share, comment, and like. Thanks, guys. Ramblin' Man out.